Welcome to the next lesson in the Search Console module in your SEO Mastery course. And in this video, we will have a look at crawl section of Search Console. So inside the crawl section, the first thing is crawl errors. So if at all Google is trying to crawl a particular web page of yours, and if it is not loading, or if the web page is landing in a 404 error where not found, then basically you will be able to see those URLs here. You can see that in the past my 404 errors have reduced. So right now I have just one error, and sometimes what happens is that Google just gets confused with some random URL and says that it's not accessible. So here you can just click on mark as fixed and then just leave it at it. So you will have a few URLs which will have errors always because it could be something like a parameter added to a particular URL or something like that. So you can just click mark as fixed. So this section is just to let you know from Google's side that there are these errors on your website, go and fix it. And then there is something called crawl stats. So crawl stats basically shows you how frequently Google is coming and crawling your site. So here there is not much insights to go ahead and find out. So here also basically it says that if your page load speed becomes slow, then this will go up. So right now I had installed some extra modules on my blog such as opt-in chat. So here you can see it has gone up a little bit, but otherwise there is nothing to be really concerned. If at all you don't see any activity here, that's when you need to be concerned. So we have already seen fetch as Google, how to get your websites indexed. And then you have robots.txt tester. So if you don't want your website to be indexed on the search engines, then you can create a robots.txt file which tells the search engine don't index my site. But since this entire course is about learning how to get indexed and ranking higher, I will not talk about it. There is no point in it. But if at all you don't want your search engines to come and index your site, you can just go inside WordPress settings, click on an option which tells don't allow search engines to index my site, and your site will not be indexed. Then we have sitemaps inside the crawl area. So this is also something that you might have learned in the free digital marketing course. So sitemap is basically a page which contains links to all the other pages in your website. And if you submit a sitemap, you will be able to see what is the list of websites that you have on your sitemap. So how many of them have indexed and how many of them have submitted. So usually you will not have 100% success rate here. So here you can see I have submitted 178 URLs, but only 174 URLs have been indexed. So once in a while what will happen is that Google will go ahead and try to index a particular page, but then this page is loading very slowly or the host server is not responding properly. So what will happen here is that it will show you some warning. So here you can see there is a high response time. So or here it will share that some of them are unreachable. So I have talked with my web host as well regarding these errors, and if they go ahead and check these URLs, it's loading fine. So Google Webmaster again is not a 100% accurate tool. The search engine and the spiders behave in a very different way. So here also the small errors is something that you can ignore. And then you have something called URL parameters. So here I have added this particular parameter to be excluded, which means that whenever someone adds a comment in my website, there will be a link which is generated with an extra URL parameter called reply to com. But again, this is something that you can ignore, and you should not be worried unless the parameter is creating a lot of duplicate pages. In general, in most of the cases, if you are using WordPress, then there is really no issue or really nothing to be worried about URL parameters. So that's about it for the crawl section in the Google Search Console module. And thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next lesson.